In UK elections to the Europe Parliament just days off, which do voters in Meriden, the personality-styled centre of England, believe on them? It's a workday night and the sun is glowing above Meriden, a successful countryside fair external Coventry. Though the real centre of England put on 10 miles polar, for centuries Meriden has majestically declared to be medium England, in geographic regulation at low. Down there's a stable flow of human beings' departure on their industry, in customers pop up in and out of the comfort keep, that sits in a row of shops entering the countryside verdant. The seats are already imbued at the hairdressers, time personnel at the neighboring microchip store are installation up in preparing for the lunchtime trading. At one end of the shops 3 youthful girls stake an animation talk, time at the some end several bikers are parked up on the angle, close the close tea rooms, prepared to do the following halt on their trip. No one team wants to say on the Europe elections while close, though some human beings using the springtime sunlight in Meriden were far of restrained. Retired constructor Robert McGann, who is out walk his Staffordshire Ox Terriers Bruce and Mr Dark Blue Heaven, thinks the processing of Brexit could include an effect on elector strike. A lot of human beings are not departure to voicings of which they, this by the government, include put us via, says the 66-year-old. I will be vote for everything side how sides in Nigel Farage, and yet I've ever elect prudent, but now I can't since they are all behind stabbing every sum. They are love guys in the sports ground. Mr. McGann elect to keep the EU but believes the nation has been brief changed by the government. I'm departure to be vote for Farage, he is the just one how's got any bottling. He should never include omitted out of policy. He was the just true a. Chemniger, who rest the feldspar comfort keep at the cardiac of the countryside, has a feast ordered so cannot voice on Thursday. Over the plough, pause just to be customers, he says had he been capable to he would be vote, but says political community are not take any note at all in any instance. For Mr. Niger, 34, the largest press question is Brexit. He thinks human beings might not include implemented the implications of vote to keep the EU, religious lot elect on the question of migration, and didn't understand which some large things were implicated. Mr. Niger says he feels down there has been an effect on the economics with the plebiscite. Human beings are conducting less than in there, we've noted human beings are conducting less than. We don't aware which the next holds, it's a hard we wish the nation to be a superior location and things to fair be regular. One man who will not be cast their voice on May 23 is retired accountant Hilary Duff Encourage, a client at the Ford's Wool Saloon in the countryside centre. I'm not worrying to voice since it seems to me MPs do things to their own ends and how tool cash to them, says the 84-year-old. Political community do not hear to human beings, she explains. Addition, how can we voice once again following which we are departure via? Mrs. Encourage, who elect keep in the plebiscite, told, Europe has undertaken a lot off us. I believe migration has destroyed us, who wouldn't wish to be there and include an NHS? We can't get them all. I believe while we keep it will ease the nation. Creature British is one of those things, we are nice fighters and will get via whatever. I sense in special we can be big on our their own. At the countryside microchip store, the pies are creature stored hot as Maka O'Cropperidge prepares to outdoor the industry she has run for the history 3 year. Mrs. O'Cropperidge, who is initially of Georgia, has 2 family, and their next, as how of her industry, is in question of anxiety. The effect of Brexit, she thinks, will be a element in how human beings voice on Thursday. We are frequently speaking in customers, the largest theme to say on is Brexit. I can see so lot human beings how pity vote for Brexit, I'm certainly rather a lot include modified their minds, since up we didn't understand all these problems and now we discover all how's departure to occur. I believe how will Shaw in the outcome following 1 week. Outgoing the EU will include a bang-on effect for her customers, says Mrs. O'Cropperidge, who has lived in England for 15 years and has UK nationality. Its departure to be more than costly and more than hard for human beings to provide it. We include no selection, we include to growth the cost, that is departure to influence human beings. I'm concerned for the next of my industry. But everything happens go October 31st, the newest day for the UK's output of the EU, Mrs. O'Cropperidge is certainly of one item. I wish to see a pleasant and peace location that is departure to be secure for next generations. John Billington conducted a breakdown of his bicycle trip, basking in the radiation as he sips on a hot sip. He frequently cycles via Meriden and present is meeting on the seat shut to the cyclists' monument on the countryside Verdant. He was involved at a document plant in Neshells, Birmingham, for 27 years and was a Labour advocate, an association term for his work year, but became disappointed in the side and begun vote prudent in 1995. I will be vote following 1 week and I will be vote for the Brexit side, says the 71-year-old. I'm not lucky in which's event at the time in the by the government how we've got in. They are not concerned in which's departure on local. They are more than concerned in compliance their slight clubhouse along in Europe and dong tea here to the human beings. They are not auditory to those issues how are essential to the human beings. Mr. Billington, who elect to keep the Europe Association in the 2016 plebiscite, says he is unfortunate in the by the government's processing of entering the EU and he expects lot human beings will voice for the Brexit side, generally as a outcry voice. We've got to wake up the by the government upwards.